You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week. The search for the man who was accused of sexual assault is over. Police say 40-year-old Ryan McDermott is facing multiple charges on sexually assaulting a 17-year-old. The search began on Friday, where McDermott was accused of raping the child and giving her alcohol and marijuana. He was on the run and was considered armed and dangerous after police discovered explosive devices and firearms on Saturday. Then on Sunday night, they found him at Lake Township without incident. Police say they discovered images from his computer of child sex acts. McDermott was arraigned on Monday morning, where he was denied bail and is currently at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility. A man was taken to the hospital after a tractor-trailer crash in Hazel Township last night. It happened just after 7 o'clock p.m. in the 500 block of Candu Expressway, Route 924. Pennsylvania State Police say the driver suffered a medical emergency while traveling east, causing the truck to leave the roadway, strike a concrete barrier, and overturn. Because of the cargo and large diesel spill, county emergency management and state environmental officials were called in. The Candu Expressway was shut down between Maplewood Drive and Humboldt Street for cleanup, with traffic rerouted onto Maplewood Drive. An arrest has been made in the murder case of a Columbia County teen. Pennsylvania State Police Troop N announced that 16-year-old Adam Joshua Bartosik of Pine Township has been charged as an adult and arraigned on 1 count of criminal homicide in the death investigation of 17-year-old Carter Conklin. Conklin was found dead by police in a Pine Township home on September 18th. The coroner report says he died of a single gunshot wound to the head. Bartosik was denied bail and was remanded to the Columbia County Correctional Facility. The Columbia County District Attorney's Office and the Troop N Major Case Team say the investigation is still ongoing. A Mahanoy man accused of setting off an explosive device inside a local chapel has pleaded not guilty. 33-year-old Kyle Kuczynski is facing felony arson and other related charges after investigators say he is responsible for detonation of an explosive device on the altar of St. Teresa of Calcutta Adoration Chapel back on May 6th. The blast caused more than $27,000 in damage, destroying part of the altar, shattering stained glass windows, and damaging other items. Prosecutors alleged surveillance video from inside the chapel showing Kuczynski running from the altar moments before the explosion. They also noted the incident qualifies as ethnic intimidation since it targeted a place of worship. Defense attorneys have challenged the evidence, questioning whether the device has been properly identified and pointing to the lack of DNA evidence. Kuczynski's case is now moving to trial. PPL is moving forward with plans for a new substation and transmission lines in Carbon County, and residents will soon get a chance to learn more. The utility company wants to build a substation in Trescow and run new lines to Nesquehoning. One would tie into the Hutto substation, while another would connect to a facility beside the Panther Creek power plant. PPL says the project addresses the rising demand for electricity. A public open house is scheduled for October 2nd from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. at the Nesquehoning Recreation Center, 335 West Railroad Street in Nesquehoning. According to Pennsylvania State Police, 2 inmates are facing assault charges following a 2024 attack on correctional officers. Based in the State Correctional Institution, Dallas, Joseph Benvis, age 32, and Kwame Ashanti Wright, age 42, are accused of hurting several correctional officers, one using a constructed weapon and another punching an officer in the face. Benvis allegedly started the whole assault as a result of sneaking to an upstairs officer's space, attacking said officer with his constructed weapon, according to authorities. After being convicted of an illegal relationship with a 14-year-old girl, Benvis is serving 20 years for child sex charges, such as involuntary deviant sexual intercourse with a minor and statutory sexual assault. For aggravated assault and weapons charges, Wright is serving 50 to 100 years. According to troopers, assault charges were pending against both inmates. Back in August, hundreds of car enthusiasts attended the 4th annual Partysville Cruise Night to see the best our area gearheads had to offer, while also having lots of fun. This Saturday, the 2nd annual spin-off cruise will be held at Freedom Park in Drums to benefit domestic violence awareness and prevention programs. We spoke with committee president Ron Seaman about what people can expect to see at this year's event.
It's a smaller scale cruise from our original Partysville Cruise Night up in Partysville at the playground. It's kind of the same kind of things. We're going to have food vendors. We're going to have a couple food trucks here. We're going to have an ice cream truck here. And we're going to do a 50-50 raffle, and we'll have a DJ entertainment here, DJ, Untouchable DJ, George Fisher. We're going to have some tricky trays. We didn't plan on that, but we actually had people reaching out to us about tricky trays if they could donate some.
And moving the cruise to Freedom Park will allow more cars to be in the show.
One thing that we hope is not smaller scale is the cars. We want to see lots of cars here. We'll have dash plaques for the first 75 cars that drive up the day of. We're also going to have a custom homemade trophy by our very own Gary Wilson of Freeland. That'll be for the Best of Show winner. We could probably put about 1,500 cars in here, so plenty of room. That is not a concern whatsoever here. I love the layout here. We got a nice little pavilion here. We got running water bathrooms. We have a beautiful little playground behind me here for the little ones. I love the view down here, beautiful mountains and view, and we're just hoping for good weather and a good turnout to support domestic violence in memory of Tony Lynn Wilkinson from Freeland. She was just a great person. Everybody loved Tony Lynn, and unfortunately, she had a bad situation on the home front, and she passed away due to domestic violence. And this is a way to honor Tony Lynn and keep her memory alive by doing this and raising some money for awareness and prevention for others that hopefully will turn out in a better situation than hers did. There's a lot of possibility here. This has a lot of potential here. And again, I can't thank the Butler Township supervisors enough for helping us with this and supporting our plan here. And again, hopefully it's just a great turnout and a great event for the community and for domestic violence awareness prevention programs, obviously. And I'm sure Tony Lynn will be smiling down.
The second annual Partysville Spin-Off Cruise will be held from 11 o'clock a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. this Saturday at Freedom Park in Drums. A rain date is set for Sunday. For more information, you can visit the Partysville Cruise Night Facebook group. Coming up on WYLN News, we check in with PA State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's Weekly Update. Plus, WYLN historian Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Watsontown Part 4. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
WYLN News brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton's emergency room team. Your experts in any emergency. When emergencies happen, minutes and expertise count. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is now part of Jefferson Health.
Hello, my name is Jason and I'm 10 years old. Hello, my name's Alexis and I'm 10 years old. And it's super sunny!
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
PPW High Voltage is back. Join us for all the hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action that only PPW Wrestling can bring you. Join us each and every week as we bring you the action from the Slatington Expo Center, Saturdays at 4:30, Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN. PPW Wrestling, the best in independent wrestling.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Hello, I am Preston Andrews, the host of this week's Watro's Weekly Update, and here with me is Dane Watro. How are you today, Dane?
I'm doing very good. I definitely see somebody's in the holiday spirit there.
Yes, and like I told you on the previous days, following the Senior Expo, Spirit is right next door, and I took well advantage of that work day. So I think that we're both winners here.
Yes, that is definitely for sure. And the funny thing, this weekend I'm on a way to Salem, Massachusetts for my sister's 50th birthday party. So that's going to be another fun-filled Halloween extravaganza, I'm
Sweet.
sure. Yeah.
Okay, so figured since we talked a lot about it in the past, but maybe briefly, let's see, how happy are you about the success of the Senior Expo this year?
Preston, I am very happy. I know we spent some time together up at the Laura Mall where we hosted our third annual Senior Expo, and the people that turned out, the senior citizens, what they got there was great information. They got so many vaccinations that were, if they wanted, they had opportunity there. Bone scans for bone density scan. So many great vendors that came out there. I believe the last count we had was 76 vendors for our senior citizens, which was one of the biggest we ever had, and it just seems like it's growing and growing every year since we've been doing this, and I look forward to next year, next September, to do this once again. The people, they're coming from all over the district, from our Schuylkill portion and Luzerne portion of our district, and I'm just very happy that you and WYLN were able to get this information out to the people. I cannot thank you and WYLN enough for all you do to deliver good information out to the people. It means so much. So many people I spoke to, the senior citizens there that day, said that they heard it right here on this news station, and that's what brought them to come out there. So I do want to thank you and this news station for bringing that to the people.
Well, I'm pretty sure that we're all honored for this because, yeah, it's win-win. That's great, and I had a reason to go get this.
Yes.
So, okay. So you did mention earlier that there was something else you did that day.
Yeah, Hazel Township. I believe it was the Hazel Township Recreation Department. They held their own senior day, and that was at Community Park there right next to the Laurel Mall. So I stopped over there. They were playing bingo. They had great giveaways. So it was very nice to spend some time with other seniors that I didn't get to see at the Laurel Mall. They had a great showing. Once again, Hazel Township does an amazing job, from the supervisors down to the board, on delivering services and a fun time for senior citizens. So it was a full day extravaganza for our senior citizens here in the 116th Legislative District.
It did quite a lot for them. I'm pretty sure everyone who loves seniors and appreciates them for carrying this country is happy for all that.
And in addition to that, Preston, I always say we're going to be there one day. You, me, I'm going to be there a little sooner than you, but we're all going to be seniors. So we got to make sure that, we're taking care of the ones that, put a lot of sweat and hard work into this country. So.
Yeah, that's a future that we don't like to be reminded of, but it's true nonetheless. Anywho, let's see. There was. Oh yeah, we both were actually at Penn State earlier in the month. So a little overview. What was that again?
Yeah, Preston, that was basically to discuss how us as legislators, we had Senator Culver there, Senator Argel, Representative Walsh, and myself. We had a panel set up. We spoke to so many stakeholders, spoke to students on ways that we could be of help and bridge maybe a gap that was missing, because we don't want to go down a road where we were a couple months ago on the edge of our seat waiting to hear if Penn State Hazleton was going to be closed. Senator Argel and myself, we really fought hard to keep this one open, and it's good to have a partnership now with Penn State. Their open channel of communication is phenomenal. So we definitely, we're a partner, and we're going to figure out ways to just grow and expand our relationship.
Yeah, it really took a lot of dedication, and seeing you all there, let's see, you, Argel, Culver, and Walsh, yeah, a true Justice League of helpers in our community. That's a lot of fun and a lot of appreciation to give.
Yeah, I just really, I'm always been a big advocate, and I preach it even to my children, that you got to build relationships, you got to build friendships, and that's how you get things done. Just keeping an open channel, communicating with people. So I'm glad to see that we're off in the right direction with that, for sure.
Well, good. Yeah, I guess we covered enough, and again, I look forward to more of these because I feel like we're really growing as a good community here.
We are. We're growing as a great community. Good things are happening. Sometimes we just got to open our eyes. It's right there in front of us, but good things are happening right here.
Yes, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. Well, with that said, I'm glad we discussed some really positive things here on this week's Watchos Weekly Update. I guess we'll see you next time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to show the world off my own stuff. See ya.
Welcome back to this edition of Feel Good Friday. I'm here with Dr. Russell Hope. Dr. Russ, how's it going?
Good. How you been doing?
It's been great. So today we're going to talk about sections of the spine.
Right. There are four basic sections of the spine: the cervical spine, thoracic spine, lumbar spine, and pelvis. And we're going to break them down over the next several times that I'm on. The first will be the cervical spine, what normal anatomy should look like. If we were looking at an x-ray or looking at an MRI, and variations that can happen from trauma, injury, even growth abnormalities. So look forward to doing that.
Looking forward to that as well. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Feel Good Friday, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
For a better customer experience, visit Fairway Subaru in Hazleton. Fairway Subaru has been providing generations of customers with Subarus. With exceptional customer service they've come to expect. Check out our selection in person or at fairwaysubaru.com. Fairway Subaru, the right car, the right price, the right dealer.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Pete Kasalika in the greater Hazleton area today.
I'm excited. After 45 years in practice, I knew I didn't want to retire, but I couldn't keep working as long hours as I was. Dr. Russell Hope came along my way, an old friend, 40 years in practice in Bloomsburg. So all you Bloomsburg Berwick people, give the office a call. Come see Dr. Russ.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But, to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is
Ever since Watsontown's founding, there had not been a formal bridge across the Susquehanna to White Deer, with the ferry carrying all traffic across the river. Efforts were made to gain charters for a bridge in 1832 and 1854, but they were not followed through on, and thus Governor John Geary refused a third attempt at charter in 1867. The issue of a bridge was a contentious one in the Watsontown area as it was, with many opponents of the idea certain the cost would be extremely high, and thus the county and towns would be paying it off for decades. Even some of those that did want a bridge over the Susquehanna thought White Deer and Watsontown were too insignificant to spend a span on, arguing instead that it should be built near Sunbury. A push for a bridge in Watsontown got a new boost in 1909 when William C. Brimmer was elected mayor. He pushed hard for a bridge, fighting numerous court battles over the years with Northumberland County commissioners, who counter-argued they go broke building one. Finally, in May 1927, construction of a bridge between Watsontown and White Deer was authorized by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court through a court order. Construction of the span, which was built by contractor George Rockwell with a projected budget of just over $300,000, began July 12, 1927. Legal haggling, though, continued during construction, with Northumberland and Union counties arguing over who would pay for the bridge's lighting system. The bridge opened to traffic on the 4th of July, 1928, with Watsontown throwing a grand opening ceremony featuring a parade and a baseball game. Despite the pomp and circumstances, however, the bridge was still essentially non-functional at the time of its opening, as the approach road on the White Deer side was insufficient for automobile traffic. Thus, the bridge would stand largely idle for the next 2 years as an almost literal white elephant, allowing its opponents to burn it mercilessly in the press. It would be March 1930 when a proper roadway would be built to the bridge's west side, making it a fully functional span. Today, all the rancor of the past has been essentially forgotten, and the bridge is now a landmark in Watsontown. It was officially named the Nurse Helen Fairchild Bridge on Memorial Day 2003, in honor of a World War I nurse from nearby Allenwood who had died in January 1918 from complications of surgery for a gastric ulcer. With the closure of the Watsontown Door and Sash Company in 1935, John Wilson, who had been superintendent of the company at the time it shut down, was left out of work. 63 years old at the time, Wilson knew he needed some form of employment to get him through. He began by making dollhouses, running what he chartered as the Wilson Novelty Company out of a garage on 8th Street. In 1936, he made a breakthrough, filing a patent for a new toy, the legs of which would walk when it was propelled forward. Wilson, believing his idea would be a hit, purchased a former shoe factory and hired a staff. His intuition would be correct, as the Wilson Walkies, as they'd be known, were an instant hit. Soon, nearly 100 workers were cracking over 10,000 walkies a day. Soldiers, penguins, and clowns were among the more popular designs for the toys. John Wilson died in 1948, but the factory continued in operation for a year afterwards before production ceased. Today, Wilson Walkies are popular collectibles in the flea market circuits. With the rise of motion pictures in the 20th century, numerous movie houses would spring up in Watsontown over the years. The first opened in 1912 as the Gem Theater on Main Street. It was modernized in 1918, expanding its capacity to 525 seats. Its name changed several times over the years, to the Carlton Theater and then the People's Theater before it was hit hard by the 1929 stock market crash. It reopened as the Lyceum Theater in 1930, but burned down in November 1934. A more lasting replacement would be the Watson Theater, which opened on May 30th, 1940, with space for 500 guests. The Watson Theater included among its amenities the Watson Dairy Lunch, a combination ice cream parlor and lunch counter. It hosted moviegoers for close to 70 years, but towards the end of its lifespan, it had started feeling a heavy squeeze from mall cinemas. The Watson Theater closed in September 2009. 10 years later, it reopened as the Watson Theater Eatery and continues in this capacity today. By 1956, Watsontown High School had become heavily overcrowded. The high school building, built in 1933, had capacity for roughly 160 students. With Watsontown High School joining with high schools in McEwensville, Gregg Township, White Deer Township, and Delaware Township in 1949 to create the West Branch Joint School District, though, space became a premium, with enrollment having reached 525 students. Things reached the point where the school district ran out spaces in adjoining buildings for certain classes, and some classes had to be sent to schools in Dewart and Allenwood. To make matters worse, on January 24, 1956, the 8th Street School caught on fire just after recess had ended. The blaze began in the boys' bathroom and was quickly noticed by custodian Ellery Ray, who immediately pulled the school's fire alarm. Fortunately, all the students inside were able to get out uninjured, although they had been forced to leave their coats and school supplies behind, and these were largely incinerated in the fire. Students would be sent to Dewart for classes for the rest of the year. With these difficulties in mind, the West Branch Joint School District looked to merge with Turbottsville's Northmont School District to add more space for classes. This would culminate with the districts coming together to form the Warrior Run School District in 1956. Land for the new high school was chosen on the Patterson Farm near Turbottville, and despite strong opposition from Watsontown residents that drew Governor George Leader into the discussion, Warrior Run High School was built on the site. It continues to serve students from Watsontown today. Pennsylvania is not a state usually connected with tornadoes, and one would not connect the Susquehanna Valley much with the phenomenon. But those concerns would hit home for the Watsontown area on May 31, 1985. The day had been hot and humid, and a tornado watch had been issued, but no one thought there was much cause for concern. Late in the day, however, a major outbreak of tornadoes sprung up across the state. Several people in the Watsontown area testified afterwards that the sky turned an unearthly green before the storm began, a frequent sign that a tornado could be imminent. And one did form at approximately 9:25 p.m. in southern Lycoming County. It quickly grew to 1.5 miles wide, with winds high enough to qualify it as a terrifying EF4 tornado. It moved through Bastrop, Elamsport, Allenwood, and Dewart before jumping the Susquehanna toward Montgomery, where it just missed the crowded Pike Drive-In, and Watsontown. 6 people would be killed in the storm in the Watsontown area. The outbreak also took an additional 56 lives across the state, making the deadliest tornadic event in Pennsylvania history. In Northumberland County, it damaged almost 80 houses, 140 mobile homes, and 28 barns, with damages in excess of $12 million. Governor Nick Thornburg would declare Northumberland and Union counties a disaster area, and the National Guard would come in to help the residents clean up afterwards.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Cooking rice just isn't nice. Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker. Watch, 1 add the white cup for rice, 2 add the blue cup for water, 3 click it and let Rice Robot perfectly cook it. The secret is Perfect Cook technology that surrounds the rice with controlled heat for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops and keeps it warm to serve. It won't burn, overcook or undercook, guaranteed. And rice is just the beginning. Make mac and cheese, frittatas, oatmeals, soups and stews, even ramen dishes. And with a ceramic, ultra non-stick interior, cleanup's a breeze.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system with the steamer tray and 1-2-3 recipe guide, all for just $39.99. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. We'll even ship your entire order free. Order now.
1-800-640-8545.